Jodan Sancho is back at Manchester United, and he was among the players that went ahead to train yesterday. And after that came to pass, United went ahead onto their website and obviously put out a very long article that read, Sancho returns to United training ground. Week 1 of the preseason training continues apace at Carrington as Erik ten Hag prepares his Man United squad for a new season. A group of senior players, including the likes of Andre Onana, Casemiro, Mason Mount, and Marcus Rashford, all returned to base on Monday, ready to get to work. Jodan Sancho returned for testing on Wednesday following his loan spell at Borussia Dortmund during the second half of the last season. The 24-year-old forward then trained with the group on Thursday, and after training on Thursday with several players still competing at the Euros 2024 and Copa America, all leave after playing at those tournaments. The group has been bolstered by academy players that include Toby Coyler, who signed a new contract on Thursday. John Evans is also back at Carrington after the academy graduate signed a one-year contract. A £50 million redevelopment project at Carrington means the players are using different facilities this season as work gets underway to modernize the usual building site. They also had a lot to say about that, and that is how Jodan Sancho came back and obviously played part into the training session for the club of Manchester United and trained very well. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. That's what the website of Man United went ahead obviously put out, and then Fabrizio Romano came out and really told us the following about the return of Jodan Sancho, and this is what he had to say. Sancho has returned to training with Man United under Erik ten Hag, its first time after issues 10 months ago and then loan to Borussia Dortmund. That's what he told us, that Sancho was back. Then he added and said, Jodan Sancho held positive face-to-face meeting with Erik ten Hag this week, and they've clarified the situation. Both ten Hag and Sancho agreed to draw a line of their disagreement and move on. Jodan Sancho available for preseason. He's now back in the preseason. So we all know the problem between Jodan Sancho and the side of Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag was like, you need to obviously do an apology, and after doing that apology, you're obviously going to come in here and really get back to the club of Manchester United. And what Sancho did was like, I cannot apologize to you because I believe that what I said was the truth. And I think I think they had to talk to the agent of Jodan Sancho to convince Jodan Sancho to obviously coming through and really reunite with the club. Because I tell you, Sancho is a very talented player. He is a very talented player, and he went ahead and apologized to Erik ten Hag, to the staff, to the fellow players, and is back into the squad. And this is what I love about Erik ten Hag. However good you are, however talented you are, all has to come to pass, and obviously bury your hatchet and really swallow your ego, face him, and obviously say, I'm sorry, because that's not what I meant to do. And that's what exactly happened between Jodan Sancho and the side of Erik ten Hag. And Sancho is back in the training sessions for the club of Manchester United, and he started training on Thursday, now Friday, and today I think they're going to be off. The players are going to be off for 2 days, and I think they're going to train today, and on Sunday they will board to the side of Rosenborg, where we're going to be playing in Norway against Rosenborg on Monday. I think today is going to be their last training, and they'll travel to Norway on Sunday. That is it. Then Patrick Berger told us that Sancho isn't expected to return to Borussia Dortmund, even if the player and Dortmund could well imagine working together again. The situation is difficult. The 45 million euros to 50 million euro price valuation is too high for Dortmund. Only a chance if they would sell a player. Man United don't want another loan. So United don't want another loan for Jodan Sancho. And I think one of the factors that has going to hit obviously to force Jodan Sancho to come in through and really apologize to Erik ten Hag has been simple. It has been about how Jodan Sancho is not being looked at by different teams because of his behavior, and no manager would obviously want to hold or really tame a snake like Jodan Sancho. And I think that's why he needed to make this move. It also acts well in the favor of Manchester United that the player rebelled and then apologized. I think that's the character that every manager would need. And I think United are like, Sancho can stay, but if at all there is a team that comes in through, it can obviously take him on. And it has been a very big factor into him not leaving the club of Manchester United, because no one doubts his talent, but his mentality has to obviously change, and Sancho needs to grow up. And I told you, I think, way back that Sancho needed to obviously come in through and obviously put in this shift and really apologize, because if he couldn't apologize, then his career was really going to be bad. And I don't think that Sancho would prefer to be playing at Borussia Dortmund when Manchester United is here. And the big question comes in through that, where is Sancho going to be playing at? And I tell you, the player whose position is really in total trouble is Marcus Rashford. Sancho is a player who idolizes to play on the left, and then Garnacho made his stamp last season. Then, if these two are performing ahead of Marcus Rashford, I don't know how Marcus Rashford is going to get into the team. That is it. And Sancho coming back at the club of Manchester United is bad news to Marcus Rashford. Rashford has to come out and really make a statement that I'm the first choice left starting attacking forward for the club of Manchester United, because we all know that this guy called Garnacho and Sancho can really perform at better levels than Marcus Rashford. And when you look on the right, Anthony and Ahmad are there, but I believe it's going to be Ahmad competing with either Garnacho or Sancho. So Ten Hag is going to be having very many forwards obviously coming through and really choose on, but that is going to increase the competition of the club of Manchester United. And I know Sancho is not going to do what he really used to do. And for me, I think it's Sancho who betrayed Eric Ten Hag, because Ten Hag was like, I fathered you. Even when you needed time off, I gave it to you. I sent you to the best therapists in football ever in Netherlands. You came back, you had a smile, you played very well until the end of the season, and when you returned, you obviously went ahead to fall off. So that was really what Ten Hag was like. The player was not really dancing to his tunes, and now they're coming in through two managers. Sancho needs to prove to us that he's really good, because this is the third manager he's working under. He first worked with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, then Ralf Rangnick, then Eric Ten Hag, and there is no way he will tell us that it's all about Eric Ten Hag yet. The best season he has ever gone ahead to have at Manchester United was given to him by Eric Ten Hag. So we wait for Jodan Sancho and see how everything is really going to pan out into the mix. So after that, we are really having a guy called Fabrizio Romano again, and he concluded off this return of Jodan Sancho at the club of Manchester United training ground, that is Carrington, by saying there are two options for Jodan Sancho now, that there is clarity between him and Eric Ten Hag. Give him any opportunity or sell him if proposals arrive. The situation remains open. Now, I believe that it's going to be hard to sell Jodan Sancho while he's English. And when you look at the players of Manchester United that are expected to really move on, some of them are really going to be homegrown players, and you have to keep Jodan Sancho into the mix for the time being. If at all Bissaka is to leave, Harry Maguire is to leave, Scott McTominay is to leave, Fason Omari left, and others, then you need Jodan Sancho to keep him around. 24 years of age, we all believe in him, and we know exactly what Sancho can offer. So that's how everything really panned out between Jodan Sancho and Eric Ten Hag. He really had to apologize, and finally he is into the team of Manchester United, and we wait to see how things are really going to be panning out after his apology and where he's really going to be featuring into the team. This is the guy called Mason Mount, obviously being troubled with with injuries in his first season, and now he looks like he's ready, steady for the season of Manchester United. Kamboala into the mix, obviously, in training, and then that is this is Onana, all smiles and laughing, and this is Mason Mount and Anthony walking onto the training ground of Manchester United. Then Jodan Sancho, the man in talk about what he's supposed to be doing. And I think he waited and waited and waited whether United would obviously find themselves in a position of really telling the manager, we need Jodan Sancho here, and gone past the days of player power, and Sancho couldn't really get anything like that, and he had to return to the club of Manchester United. Obviously, the apology was issued, and finally he's here. Sancho with the new manager, I think is Rick Hein, one of those that we got him from the Dutch side, and is really doing the needful with Jodan Sancho. Then Erik Ten Hag with obviously the man himself, is it Rick Hen, who came in through and obviously joined the club of Manchester United, the new manager. Then Ruud van Nistelrooy, also part of the training session after getting a work permit, and he was really having a very huge role into the training sessions for the club of Manchester United. And Jodan Sancho going in for pass during the training session at Carrington. Then Sancho into what we call a rendo with John Evans, Aaron Wan-Bissaka as Erik Ten Hag was really looking on. Then Sancho again with Marcus Rashford, Mason Mount, Rashford in the middle of the rendo, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka obviously doing the instructed passes by the manager, that is Erik Ten Hag. Sancho obviously making a run to obviously take on players as expected. Then Sancho with Amad Diallo, Casemiro, and very many other players of United, and Mason Mount taking on the rendo duel into the mix. Then Ruud van Nistelrooy and the entire coaching staff of Man United walking onto the training ground, and I tell you, they're gonna hit obviously reinforce their back staff. Van Nistelrooy and Casemiro looking on and obviously finding means on where everything is supposed to be. So that is the side known as Man United, and that's how everything really panned out at the side of Manchester United. Now, after that, let's talk about the refreshed coaching staff. And it was talked about by the website of Man United after announcing the return of Jodan Sancho. They told us that in case you missed, United has appointed Rene Haake and former striker Ruud van Nistelrooy as assistant managers of the men's first team to work under Erik Ten Hag until June 2022. I'm delighted that Ren and Ruud have joined to join our project, adding a wealth of experience, knowledge, and new energy to the staff. Now is a good time to refresh the coaching team as we look to build on the achievements of the past 2 years and push to the next level. So United's first friend is going to be played on Monday in Rosenborg, and hope you guys will enjoy it. That's what you've gone ahead to get from the website of Man United. But the big story is Jodan Sancho back at Carrington after apologizing to Erik Ten Hag. He ate the amber pie, Ten Hag forgave him, and they've gone ahead to obviously redeem their good working relationship that had gone bad 10 months back. And it is Sancho going on his knees, confirming that no player power at Manchester United anymore. And who is the boss? It's none other than Erik Ten Hag. Your reactions to this are welcome in the comment section below. Rokan David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later. We out. Bye-bye.